And this is the final game of 2022. At this time, we would like you to all please rise and kindly remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Now, let's meet the start lineups for the visiting Goshen Maple Leafs.
It is New Year's Eve here in the Chicagoland area, and we have one more contest on the campus of St. Xavier University before we ring in 2023 as the Cougars play host to the Goshen College Maple Leafs of Goshen, Indiana. Good afternoon, everyone. Ron Luce on the call with you here today as the 12-3 Cougars look to continue their hot start to this season with a potential another victory to close out the calendar year of 2022 as they host the struggling Crossroads opponent Goshen here on Bob Hallberg Court today. As we noted, Cougars coming into play today 12-3 on the season. They are 7-1 in conference play, that being in the CCAC. They are 5-0 in their last 5 under head coach Robert Ford. As for Goshen, it is a transition year in the program, 2-11 overall in the season, 0-4 in Crossroads conference play. And Kyle Capps is the first-year head coach at the helm. Former Goshen Maple Leaf himself taking over the program. So we already heard the starters for the Maple Leafs. It'll be number 15, Clayton McLagan, number 21, Caden Johnson, number 22, Elias Ramirez, number 30, Caleb Wright, and number 42, Judah Simpukwe as the starters. And for your Cougars, number 5, Kevin Bishop, number 11, Julian Barr getting the start today with TJ Babakir still on the shelf. Number 12, Jaden King will also get the start. And for the first time this season, it'll be number 20, Jack Halverson, back from injury, the fifth-year senior. And number 30, Cedric Johnson, will round out your starting 5. And as we noted for the Cougars today, Jack Halverson returning to the lineup. This a massive addition to this roster that is already playing so well. Over the course of his career, he's a 2-time All-Conference second-team player in the CCAC, 2-time CCAC All-Academic team as well, and he earned CCAC Player of the Week honors back in the 2019-20 season before COVID abruptly ended that year for Halverson. This being his graduate 5th year, he is in his 5th year of actually playing. COVID years were awarded to all NAIA athletes, no matter what their standing. So an additional year of play granted to every single player. Halverson taking his here to be a part of this really strong Cougars team under head coach Robert Ford. There's the tip, and we are underway in this NAIA men's basketball matchup on New Year's Eve. And the Cougars go to work after winning the tip. Johnson pulls up for 3 from the point, and it's good. Cedric Johnson getting things started off hot for the Cougs. And now Goshen will go to work and look to answer here And talk about a big addition as well with Halverson. That allows Bishop. Here comes Barr in transition. And he's got another 2 for the Cougs. As we were mentioning about Halverson, he will be the big man in the middle, and that allows Bishop to play more of that swing forward role. He's been so good already this season. One of the top 10 scorers in the CCAC. As that 3 is good from Goshen. That is number 22, Elias Ramirez. Good answer for the Maple Leafs after a 5-0 run for the Cougars to start today's action. And here is Bishop working in that swing forward role now as he gives way to King. Jaden King on the baseline with the little floater. It won't go. That rebound corralled by Caleb Wright, and he'll bring it up the floor for the Maple Leafs. Ramirez another 3 from the corner, and he's got it. And just like that, the Maple Leafs jump out in front. 2 consecutive 3-pointers from Ramirez. And Goshen having to feel good about that response after that 5-0 run for the Cougars to start today's game. Here's Bishop now working in the high post. Good move, fake shot, a little turnaround, and the floater will go with no problem. Good move by Kevin Bishop there to open that up. And now the Maple Leafs go back to work. But as we noted, Bishop, one of the top 10 scorers in the CCAC. He joining Cedric Johnson and Jaden King as the 3 Cougars in that frame. Simbukwe's bid is no good. King corrals the rebound. Here come the Cougars quickly. King all the way to the other end, and he's got another 2. Jaden King building off with a hot start today. 25 points in the victory over Trinity Christian College just a week ago. And he's looking to build on that as he continues to build his season average scoring all the way up to 22.3 entering action today. Nothing home right now as Ramirez gets it and pulls up. That's off the mark. Here comes Johnson. And a quick pass for the Cougars in transition. Barr all the way to the rack. That's no good. Had 2 defenders in his face, unable to complete the layup. And now the Cougars will look to respond on defense. Here come the Maple Leafs. Simbukwe with it here at the point, looking for reinforcements. Good pass down low. And the shot put up. Good defense, Halverson, and that'll draw a foul. Because that is number 21, Caden Johnson, drawing the foul. Halverson's first foul of the season, coming with 17:06 still here to play in the first half. That'll send Johnson to the line here for 2. And he will sink shot number 1, and Kevin Bishop already getting a quick breather as number 23, Maki Moore, checks in for the first time today. Johnson will shoot his second free throw here. No other changes on the floor for either side. Johnson's bid off the mark, so here come the Cougars. This is Johnson with it. Nice move, turnaround shot from outside the free throw line. No good. Johnson able to outreach everyone for that rebound. Maple Leafs with a nice chance to respond here and potentially tie things up or even take the lead. Right over to Ramirez. Deep 3 if it goes, and it does. Wow, what a shot. Elias Ramirez with the range. He is not afraid to shoot from distance, and he draws the foul as well. So this could be a 4-point play for Elias Ramirez. Unbelievable. He's off to a hot start today. Already 9 of the 10 Goshen points. He might be in double figures here after this free throw. And he will do just that. What a shot. What a start, really, for Elias Ramirez. 10 points already here in the early going. The Cougars will look to answer as they now find themselves trailing by 2. King with the floater. No good. Can't get the friendly roll. And that'll give way to this Maple Leafs offense once again. King nearly picking that off. Simbukwe able to hold on to it. Here's Wright for 3. That's good. Caleb Wright able to sink the 3 from that far wing. And right now it looks like Goshen showing they are an outside shooting team. Cougars will look to respond now, find themselves in a tougher hole down by 5. There's Halverson up top. Nice pass down low to Barr. Kicks out first Johnson for 3, and it's good. Great answer there by Cedric Johnson with the 3 ball, and now it's just a 2-point game here once again. Good passing by the Maple Leafs. Finds Johnson on the baseline. Ramirez with it up top. This is number 15, Clayton McLagan, working in the post. Oh, good defense from King. He saves it, and now Halverson has it. What a great play by Jaden King. Here come the Cougars. Great defensive hustle from the Cougars' leading scorer. Johnson kicks over to Halverson. That ball is loose. Pass just off the mark. Ramirez comes away with it and then loses control. So that will result in Cougar possession now with 15:18 to play. Kevin Bishop chucking back in now, looking like he'll play the 5, giving Halverson a breather. In addition, number 31, Isaac Miller, checks in for the Maple Leafs. 14-12 your score. Visitors in the lead as of now, just a hair under 5 minutes into this one as Bishop puts that shot up. That's no good. A shot with the hook there, unable to fall. Here's Simbukwe for the Maple Leafs, and now Ramirez, their leading scorer. Good pass by Miller to Simbukwe in the high post. Takes one look and kicks out to Wright. Right on the attack now. And he has to circle back. 9 to shoot here for the visitors. Simbukwe looking for assistance. Good pass to Johnson. I think he wanted Miller backdoor. And that'll draw a foul ultimately. Johnson's going to get tagged with the foul there. It's on the floor, so baseline inbound coming here for Goshen. It'll be Simbukwe to do the honors. And that pass taken away. Here's King. Tamaki Moore. He's got it all himself. Puts it up, and it falls. Nice play by Maki Moore. Good transition offense from the Cougars. Turning that turnover quickly into points, and now here come the Maple Leafs. Near takeaway by the Cougars. Johnson kicks outside to Miller. Miller with the nice move, and the long 2 won't go. Bishop corrals the rebound. Cougars bringing it up the floor. Bishop has it all himself and loses his balance. No foul called. Maple Leafs will look to answer. Simbukwe all alone, and a kicked ball. Good defense nonetheless by Cedric Johnson for the Cougars. 14 all with 14:01 to play here, and it'll be Simbukwe once again from the baseline. He'll get that into Johnson, who's guarded tightly by Moore. Johnson gets it back, and now up top to Miller. They'll play catch. Good ball movement. Right for 3. That's good. Sharp shooters from the outside. It's been Wright and Ramirez. Here's Johnson pulling up for 3. That's short and off the mark. Another opportunity now for the Maple Leafs to find themselves with a bit of cushion. Ramirez from the corner for 3, off the mark. King finds the rebound. Here come the Cougars. Jaden King taking it himself all the way to the rack, and he'll draw the foul. Officially here with 13:24 now to play. Jaden King the line to shoot 2. Well, King shoots these free throws, highlighting the head coaches very quickly. As we mentioned, Kyle Capps, former player here at Goshen and first-year head coach. She's joined by Eric Bowen in his 3rd season as the assistant coach. As King misses on that first free throw. As for the Cougars, Robert Ford in his 2nd season at the helm. A year ago, this team placed 4th in the conference standings. And now this year off to a hot start. He's assisted by Taylor Jones and Devin Johnson as King misses once again. A couple of substitutions as well. Greg Johnson checks in number 2 for Goshen. Number 3, Trey Ward checking in for the Cougars as well. There's Wright with it now up at the point. Guarded tightly by Ward, looking for help, and finds Ramirez. Wright and Ramirez play catch. Now Johnson with it on the drive. He kicks to Miller. Far corner 3. That's off the mark, and Bishop easily secures the rebound. Johnson bringing it up with pace for the Cougars, and now looking to back down a defender in the high post. Kicks out to Bishop, and now to Ward at the point. Here's Jaden King working against Caleb Wright. Nice move. Almost loses it, but does a nice job to secure that. Here's Bishop, and now a travel is called against Bishop with 12:38 to play in half number 1. And the inbound to right will easily make its way here into the front court. Here is Johnson. Goshen, really good ball movement so far in this one today. Have been able to find open guys, and that's created a lot of shot looks as Johnson misses on the long two. Bishop able to corral a rebound here once again, and now Johnson will take the ball for the Cougs. Gives down to Bishop in the paint, able to get it back, and now Moore for three from the far side, and he converts. Maki Moore with a beautiful shot from the far side of the court. Able to tie this game at 17 now. Cougars also now starting to work with some good ball movement. Goshen proving to be tough defensively as that ball ricochets off a Cougar defender. It looks like might have been Trey Ward getting a hand on that. Tino Shabai will check in, as will Jack Halverson for the Cougars. Number 33, Jordan Kynard will check in as well for Goshen as Wright takes a seat. Johnson and Bishop to the bench for the Cougars. No other changes yet on the floor. 11:43 to play here in half number one. It'll be Johnson to inbound on the baseline for the visitors. Maple Leafs wearing their all-black uniforms with the purple and white detail today. Cougars wearing their natural all-whites here at home with the red and black detail. Goshen working everything to the outside. Johnson and Ramirez will play catch. Ramirez pulling up for a deep three. It's off the mark. And it will be a shot clock violation, so the Cougars able to take possession. Good work by the Cougs defensively to force that long shot from Ramirez and the subsequent shot clock violation. Shabai down low to Halverson. Here's the big man in the paint. That's a little short. And that rebound ends up with Miller. Here come the Maple Leafs. Ramirez on the far side. Wanted the three. Good recovery defense from Jaden King. Kynard, Johnson, King able to keep it away, and Moore trying to secure that ball out of the air. Loses it for a moment. Looks like he took his eye off it. Kynard gets it back. He'll pull up for three, and it's good. Jordan Kynard able to take advantage of the mishandle from Maki Moore. King now a deep three. That's off the mark. Good offensive rebound from Halverson. He'll put it off the glass. No good. Loose ball. King gets it. Draws the foul. And that'll send Jaden King to the line now with 10:34 to play. And the Cougars trailing by 3. Great pace in this game so far. Both teams shooting well over 40%. Both teams shooting well from beyond the arc as well. Goshen has already taken 8 3-pointers, converting at a 75% clip as King sinks free throw number 1. Cougars shooting 3 of 5 from beyond the arc thus far, and not a terrible amount of free throws taken so far. This will just be the 4th free throw for the Cougars today. Goshen has 3 of their own as King goes 2 for 2 at the line. Kynard with it now, and he'll give way to Miller. Ramirez in the high post gets it up at the top. Back to Kynard out on the far wing. Wanted the 3 ball. Now Kynard in that high post. Johnson down low. Good pass to Johnson. Now Greg Johnson will pull up and has the mid-range 2. Trey Ward now working for the Cougars here. Julian Barr checking back in as well. Halverson, good move off the glass. That'll be goaltending. So Jack Halverson with his first points of the season. Good to see Jack Halverson back out on the court for the Cougars and healthy. A large conglomerate here today to support Halverson as well. Good crowd as well on New Year's Eve today. Good way to start the day before the festivities to ring in the new year. Greg Johnson wide open for 3. That's off the mark, but he gets the friendly bounce. Shabai will inbound to Ward, and the Cougars will slow things down, finding themselves trailing by 4. Now here's Barr, gives way to King. Good defense, and King loses it. And a holding foul is called. Resetting the clock. It'll be Cougars possession. Cedric Johnson checking back in now for the Cougs. And for the first time today, we'll see number 23, Kedrick Bibby, for Goshen. Only 2 changes on either side. Trey Ward will serve as the inbounder for the Cougars. Here's Cedric Johnson with it now to Shabai. Good ball moving on the outside here, looking for Halverson in the post. Halverson with the turnaround off the mark, but a foul will be drawn. And Jack Halverson making his presence known in that post. 9:01 to play, and Halverson at the line. You mentioned on previous games the amount of transfers on this Cougars roster. TJ Babaker, a transfer, as are guys like Julian Barr, Kevin Bishop, and Cedric Johnson. Johnson last with Sioux Falls before making his way here, as Halverson banks in the first free throw. And he's 2 for 2 at the line. So a good mix of talent already here, and new faces and some transfers here really making up this Cougars roster. They have been dynamic really all season long, looking to keep those winning ways going here. Good ball movement from Goshen. Nice pass to Miller, and Halverson says no. He said, "No, thank you, sir. Keep that out of my kitchen." Big block by Jack Halverson. Good ball movement, though, from the Maple Leafs. Dangerous all day with that quick ball movement, and they are deadly accurate as well. Here's Johnson pulling up for a deep 3, and it goes. Greg Johnson the second with another 3 ball. And these Maple Leafs, a lot of success from outside. There's Shabai for 3, and he answers. Big answer by Tino Shabai. And the Cougars back in business, trailing by just 2. The kick out for Kynard up at the top, and he gives back to Greg Johnson the second. That's denied. Big block, Halverson. And here come the Cougars. Halverson, he's got 2 in transition. Great answer by the Cougars. Great defensive play. Jack Halverson has made his presence known today. And just like that, we're tied again at 28 apiece. Here's Ramirez looking for help. Gets it via Greg Johnson the second. On the drive, kicks out. Good ball movement. Ward able to save it, and a turnover, though, on the pass. Tough play by Trey Ward. And that ball off of the mark, and it was actually denied then by Bibby. That might have fallen had he let it go. Here comes Johnson now for the Cougars. Looking down low for Halverson, and that ball will stay down as Cougars possession. As Bibby goes spilling to the floor. Jaden King returns to the floor, as does Judah Simfukwe for their respective clubs. Halverson, recipient of the inbound pass. Cougars go to work. Here's Barr up at the top. Finds Jaden King. Nice move. King to the rack. And he draws the foul. He wanted the jam from the baseline. And even Jaden King just indicated to Halverson, he said, I wanted that jam. So King to the line here with a chance to give the Cougars the lead. I mentioned Goshen. They have shot 11 three-pointers already in this one, converting 8 of 11. 4 of 6 are the Cougars, though, from beyond the arc, so certainly a good amount of success for SXU from that spot as well. Kevin Bishop returns to the floor. Halverson and Trey Ward on the bench. And King's 2 of 2. And officials confused, thought a substitution was coming for Goshen. There will be no such thing. So Kynard will take it on the inbound here, and the Maple Leafs go to work. Here's Wright now at the top. Under 7 minutes to play in half number one as Kynard gets it back on the far wing. Right with it once again. Now Kynard a deep three. That's good. My goodness, this Goshen team. Splash City is what it feels like from beyond the arc. Here's Johnson to the rack, and that'll draw the foul. Bishop would have had the putback regardless. So this will send Cedric Johnson to the line. Certainly seeing kind of the two strengths of both sides to this team. You have the Cougars who are not afraid to attack the rim, can shoot from the outside, but are showing off that physicality near the rim, drawing a lot of fouls. And on the flip side, this Goshen team, excellent from deep, showing off the range, 9 of 12 from three. And when you can shoot at that kind of clip, it is really hard to beat. 6:41 to play. Here's Johnson's second free throw, and he'll convert that as well. Cougars back out in front as Simbukwe will bring this up the floor here for the Maple Leafs. Here's Kynard, nearly taken away by King as the pass gets to Miller. Simbukwe gets it back. Good ball movement down to right. Miller in the far corner. Still that good ball movement here for Goshen as Miller gets it back. He'll pull up deep too, off the mark, and Shabai able to pull in the rebound. Johnson faking the transition pass. He'll keep it himself and bring it up the floor. Here's Kevin Bishop. Big man down low, and he's able to get another two. Kevin Bishop so dominant in that post. Although Halverson might be the taller of the two, they're both equally as dominant in their own fashion when they work down low against those big defenders. There's Caden Johnson. He loses it, and Kevin Bishop's able to come up with it on the far side. There's Cedric Johnson now, and Jaden King with it. Trying to take advantage of the matchup and can't get the friendly roll. That ends up with Miller. Here's Kynard, and that'll draw a foul as Johnson puts a little bit of a body into him with 5:31 to play. It'll be an inbound here from the sideline. Maki Moore will check back in now for the Cougars. No other changes. It'll be Simbukwe on the far side over there on the inbound. He gets it into Miller. Now Miller with it. Back to right on that far wing. Everything to the outside right now for Goshen, 10 to shoot. Wide open look from the corner for Miller. That's off the mark. Kevin Bishop able to outstretch Johnson for the Maple Leafs. Here come the Cougars. Barr with a nice move, gives it over to Ward. King, deep three, and it's off the mark and out of play. So it will be a turnover in Goshen possession. Simbukwe will bring it up the floor now with 4:53 and counting to go. Not a ton of whistles. Been a fast first half. Good pace for both teams as well in this first half as they kind of figure each other out. Have to imagine there will be some second half adjustments for both sides. That's stripped away. Good defensive play. Julian Barr able to get the first hand on it, and he ends up with it. Here's Trey Ward down to the baseline. Good ball movement. King to Moore. Ward in the corner for three. It's good. Trey Ward with a big three-pointer. And the Cougars find themselves able to open up the lead a bit here as we wane into the final minutes of this first half. Miller with it on the far side, back to Kynard, and now right up at the top. Looking for a man, finds Simbukwe. Miller gets it once again. Good defense. Barr one-on-one with Kynard, 5 to shoot. Simbukwe. Good pass. That's taken away by Kevin Bishop. Good read defensively for the Cougars again. Here's Moore with it. He'll give way to Trey Ward, and the Cougars will slow it down for the moment. Ward taking it himself. Kicks. Moore on the wing. Three ball. It's good. Maki Moore for three, and that will stop the clock. Timeout taken. And Goshen needs to slow this thing down as the Cougars find themselves out front. We'll step aside for a quick breather. Cougars race out to a 9-point lead right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Timeout taken with 3:36 to play here in half number one by the Goshen Maple Leafs. Ron Luce on the call with you here on New Year's Eve. A beautiful way to call 2022 to a close here with some NAIA men's basketball. If you're joining us a bit late, this has been a crazy first half, back and forth. Goshen keeping pace, excellent shooting from the outside. The Cougars finding their way back into this one. Jack Halverson making his season debut as well after battling some injury early on. This in his final season with the Cougars, and a timeout taken because of a beautiful run by the Cougars. They have jumped out to a 9-point lead now after really Goshen has had the lead for good stretches here in this first half. Not a lot of time here before the half, and Goshen looking to get things going once again back in their favor as Wright and Miller play catch to bring it up the floor. Here's Simbukwe in the high post, looking for reinforcements. He'll have to lob it out to Wright up top once again. Ramirez to Wright. Those probably the two most dangerous shooters on the outside. Here's Miller taking it to the rim himself, and that's a nice finish for number 31, Isaac Miller. Here come the Cougars quickly. Moore on the far side there, gives it back to Trey Ward. They'll play catch and deliver the handoff. Here's King, and he'll pull up from right around the free throw line. Halverson corrals the rebound. Julian Barr three-pointer, that's short off the mark. And Jaden King tried to get a hold of that, unable to do so. So it will be Goshen ball, 2:49 to play, but good effort once again from Jaden King. We noted coming off a 25-point performance on December 20th right here against Trinity Christian College. A win for the Cougars against their CCAC foe. Good ball movement. Simbukwe in the paint. Trying to get it over to Caden Johnson. Johnson working. Halverson got the block, but a foul called. And he's in disbelief. Thought he got it cleanly, and it looked like initially he did. It might have been on the follow-through that he caught a bit of the hand, and that likely is what drew the foul. That sends number 21, Caden Johnson, here to the line for two. He will sink free throw number one. Cedric Johnson checking back in for the Cougars as Trey Ward heads to the bench. And Johnson 2 for 2. Good shooting at the line for Caden Johnson, now just a 5-point game. Good response coming out of the timeout for the Maple Leafs. Johnson looking for Halverson, but good collapse by the Goshen defense for the takeaway. In transition, Miller, and draws the foul. Moore trying to exclaim. He got his hands up straight. And Robert Ford also giving an earful to the official. Maki Moore will draw the foul, and that will send number 31, Isaac Miller, to the line. Isaac Miller is at the line. And he will miss free throw number one. But will sink free throw number two. 4-point game now. Cougars still in front. Goshen doing everything they can out of that timeout to get some momentum going in their favor. They've done a nice job at that. King's bid, no good, and then King will draw the foul on his third putback attempt. Good hustle to stay with it by Jaden King, and That'll send him to the line for 2 free throws.
Number 21, Kaden Johnson. His first personal, Maple Leafs over the limit. Jaden Cates back at the line.
And it looks like Kaden Johnson got called for that foul. That is his first. And King able to sink the free throw. And he'll go 2 of 2. Jaden King continuing his hot day.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
That'll give him 8 points on the day. A trio of Cougars with 8 points. And here's King with the takeaway. King and Moore. Moore, nice athletic play to do the scoop and up for Maki Moore. That was a tough play. Got that pass out in front of him and acrobatically able to up and under for the 2. Here's Miller now at the top. He's got right open in the far corner for 3. Off the mark, loose ball, ends up with Simbukwe. Fresh shot clock as well now for the visitors as they reset. Ramirez guarded tightly by Julian Barr near the logo. Kaden Johnson serving as the pivot man and delivers to right. That's a big 3. And now a timeout taken by head coach Robert Ford to talk things over with 1:14 to play. So far today, a pair of double-figure scorers for both sides. Elias Ramirez leading the way for Goshen. Really all of those points coming in the opening few minutes. He's been pretty quiet in the second half of this opening half. Caleb Wright with 3 3-pointers gives him 9 on the day. Greg Johnson the second, 8 points off the bench. As does Joe Kynard with 6 off the bench. As for the Cougars, Maki Moore with 10 points today. That's team best. Jaden King with 8 of his own. Most of those coming from the free throw line. He's 6 of 9 from the charity stripe. 8 points for Cedric Johnson as well. Halverson with 6 today in his return so far. 4 boards as well. And Kevin Bishop with 4 points as well. So Johnson will pick it up and the Cougars will go to work. 5-point game here with halftime looming. Here's Halverson in the post. Draws a crowd and now good ball movement. Moore for 3. Off the mark. Simbukwe able to secure the rebound. He'll bring it forward for the Maple Leafs. Looking to transfer as we have under a minute left before the half. Ball nearly gets away from Simbukwe and a nice move to get to the hoop. Still plenty of time between shot and game clock, so likely one more possession at minimum in this game. Here's Moore right around the free throw line. Good pass down low to Halverson. Halverson the turnaround, and that'll draw the foul. 27.8 seconds left as Halverson heads to the line. A couple of subs will be coming up here in a moment for the Cougars. It looks like Trey Ward and Tino Shabai will check in for the last few seconds of half number 1. As Halverson cannot convert on the first free throw.
Trey Ward returns to the court for Xavier.
And Ward checks in place of Cedric Johnson initially. And Halverson makes free throw number 2, and now Tino Shabai will take Halverson's place with just 27 seconds remaining. Same personnel for Goshen here with halftime looming. Miller looking to bring it up. A little pressure from the Cougars, forcing Goshen to take their time. No shot clock, so this could be last possession of the first half. Simbukwe with it all the way back near the logo, and now they'll get to work. Right with it, and here at the point, now Simbukwe kicks out to Miller. Good ball movement to Ramirez. He'll pull up for 3, and it's good. And Barr gets it off, and that will not go. We make it to the end of the first. Just a 1-point game as we head into halftime. Cougars 45, Maple Leafs 44. We'll step aside just as the players do here for halftime. We'll be back with you in about 15 minutes for second half action. Don't go anywhere. If the opening half is any indication, we are in for a treat to conclude the 2022 calendar year. We'll be back with you here in just a few minutes on the SXU Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. About 60 seconds away from the start of half number 2. If you're joining us late, it's been a nail-biter to this point. 45-44 your score, with the Cougars still out in front. Ron Luce here on the call with you for the final SXU athletic event here in 2022. We are, give or take about 8 hours roughly away here from ringing in the new year, at least in the Chicagoland area. If you're watching with us from the Eastern time zone, you guys a little closer to ring in 2023 here. We hope everybody is safe and healthy and enjoys the celebrations with those that you care about most, friends, family, teammates in this case for both of these teams here today in this New Year's Eve matchup. Again, been a good one. Goshen has really taken it to the Cougars from beyond the arc so far here today. Currently shooting at an impressive 11 of 16 right now. And as for the Cougars, not shooting too bad themselves, 50% from beyond the arc. And we'll get things started here in just a moment as Champ decorates the camera here. And we are underway, second half action in this NAIA men's basketball matchup between the Goshen Maple Leafs and Cougars. And that shot just off the mark there from Clayton McLagan. Here comes Cedric Johnson for the Cougars. Halverson for three, and he nails it. Jack Halverson, have yourself a return. That bucket gives him double figures in his first game of the season after coming back from injury. Wright wanted the three-pointer, had to wait, and Coral back looking for reinforcements. Here's Ramirez. Nothing home, gives way to Wright here on the near side. And this is Caden Johnson now working against Halverson. Simbukwe somehow gets that pass down low and working his way through a bunch of traffic, and he's able to get a big bucket. That is a massive bucket for Simbukwe, who on paper isn't the largest guy, just about 6 foot is the freshman, but did a nice job there working his way through a couple of bodies. Here's Halverson in the post now. McLagan working against him, and one for Jack Halverson. What a day for the big man in his return. McLagan able to earn his first foul of the day after that Halverson bucket, and he's looking to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. And he does just that. Jack Halverson now with 13 points on the day and a hot start to this second half as the Cougars go back to work. Simbukwe with it. Gets it right back from Ramirez. Nothing home there, and now Wright as Barr works his way through the screen, and the foul will be called. And Barr's going to be called for the foul, trying to wrestle his way through that screen. Caden Johnson will inbound from the near sideline as he gets it into McLagan. Wright for three from the wing, and it's good. The three-pointers continue to rain for Goshen. Now it's just a two-point game here once again. Johnson with it. That's Bishop down low, and he gets another two. Kevin Bishop putting in the work. He and Halverson both having good days. We mentioned with Halverson's return, it allows Bishop, when they're both on the floor together, to play that swing roll, and a big block there from Halverson. Bishop might have got a hand on it too, and the Cougars go to work. Johnson with it, looking for reinforcements. Nice move, and one on the bucket for Cedric Johnson. Count it, and he's going to go to the line. What a ankle-breaking move from Cedric Johnson. Just put the brakes on, hit him with the crossover, and like that, gets to the bucket, and he's looking to add one here with the old-fashioned three-point play, and he'll do just that. Cougars jump out to a nice lead here in the early going of half number 2. Mbukwe guarded tightly by Jaden King. Now McLagan on that far side. Looking to open things up are the Maple Leafs as Mbukwe loses it on the way through. Bishop able to corral the loose ball. Now Johnson with it on that far wing. Here's Halverson, and now a foul is called. This will be against Goshen. Elias Ramirez will be called for that one. Halverson tried to get Bishop down low on the pass. Good ball movement from the Cougars. McLagan will check out. Checking in is Miller for the Maple Leafs. No other changes. King with it now up top, and an off-ball foul by the Cougars will turn it back over to the Maple Leafs. And Kevin Bishop was tagged with that foul. So here come the Maple Leafs. Mbukwe taking it to the rim, and he'll get the friendly roll. Don't be fooled by his size. Mbukwe not afraid at all to go to the paint today. And he's been quite successful down there so far. 6 points for him on the afternoon. There's Halverson receiving the pass from Bishop. Bishop gets it right back and takes the body and puts it up for 2. Good start by the big men in the paint for the Cougars in this early going of the second half. Both Bishop and Halverson having a nice run here early on. Cougars really trying to exploit their size in the paint and utilize it. That off the mark from number 30, Caleb Wright. Here come the Cougars. It's Cougars number 30, Cedric Johnson, giving way to Julian Barr. Halverson to Bishop. They'll play the two-man game down low. And Bishop is denied. Good block by Caden Johnson. Good pass. Miller, three-pointer from the corner off the mark. Caden Johnson with the offensive board. Now Ramirez deep three, and it's good. Ramirez has not missed. He is 4 of 5 from beyond the arc today. He has been really good when given the opportunity. Here's Halverson down low, and that'll draw the foul. Not afraid of the bodies. This is Halverson, and he's proving to be a mismatch and a bit of a nightmare for Goshen so far in the paint. Halverson drains the first free throw. A couple substitutions coming as well. Kedrick Bibby will check in for Goshen, and Maki Moore also joins the Cougars on the floor as Kevin Bishop takes a seat. 59-54, one more free throw here for Jack Halverson. And he'll bang that home. 6-point lead now for the Cougars. Still plenty of ball left here in this second half. Here comes the Maple Leafs attack. Certainly got to keep an eye on Ramirez, especially from range. Almost seems like the deeper out he is, the better off he is shooting the three-pointer. There is Ramirez. Good defense from Barr. Now Mbukwe. And now a good play there. Mbukwe wanted to pass it, it looked like, off the shot fake. And King picks it off for the Cougars. And now a offensive foul is called here. King, looks like they called him for wrapping his arm around Mbukwe. Trey Ward checks in for SXU. Everything else remains the same otherwise as we approach 15 minutes to play. Here's Ramirez again, really deep three. This time that one's off the mark. Maki Moore able to secure the rebound for the Cougars. Here comes the SXU attack with Cedric Johnson leading the way. Halverson working against Bibby down low. Good turnaround move. Can't get it there, though. So good defense ultimately there for Bibby. Halverson unable to do anything with that chance. 3 for Miller. If it goes, and it does. Isaac Miller with a 3-pointer. And Johnson will serve as the point man. Dribbles it in himself, nothing home. Moore to Ward. Now to Barr. Barr on the drive, takes the body, and a blocking foul is called by the far official. So that'll send number 11, Julian Barr, to the line. And Barr sinks the first one on a laser from the free throw line. Caden Johnson, Greg Johnson the second will check in. Bibby and Wright will head to the bench. Kevin Bishop also returning to the floor now for the Cougars as Halverson earns a breather. Robert Ford with a great problem. A lot of guys that can play that center role as Barr converts on his second free throw. And here comes Greg Johnson the second now for Goshen. So Miller back to Johnson. Looking to open something up, likely Ramirez, as he finds it on the far wing. Good defense, 10 to shoot. Miller, corner 3. It's good. What a shot by Miller. Maki Moore laid out trying to get a shot block on that attempt, unable to do so. Now it's just a 2-point game. Johnson on the drive, took some contact, but able to dish. Here's Moore, nothing home, he'll rebound and look for a teammate. 8 to shoot, now a travel is called on Cedric Johnson. Maple Leafs feeling the momentum here as we wane toward the midpoint of this half. Simbukwe and Miller play catch as they bring it forward for the Maple Leafs. There's Johnson the second with it, everything to the outside for the time being. Johnson the second on the drive, that pass nearly picked off. Ramirez deep 3. Off the mark, and Kevin Bishop able to come up with it, and that'll be a whistle. Miller will be called for the foul.
Foul number 21, Kaden Johnson. This is your personal. Make the leads over the foul.
So just like that, Cougars able to get a possession back, trying to add on to their lead. Ward on the far wing, looking for help, gets it via Kevin Bishop. We'll give way to Johnson as we approach 10 to shoot. Screen comes from Bishop. Open is Trey Ward. He'll drive, teardrop floater for 2. Nice bucket for Trey Ward. Just a little teardrop floater will do the trick. Here's Simbukwe looking for help. And Miller gets it all the way out on the far wing. Back to Johnson the second, and now Simbukwe, 10 to shoot. And a foul on the floor.
Double foul has been in effect. Foul number 21, Kaden Johnson. This third person, Maple Leafs over the limit. And number 30, Cedric Johnson.
So we're just trying to get an understanding of what occurred. So it looks like 2 fouls were called, one against each side. Caden Johnson picked up a foul, number 21, as did Cedric Johnson for the Cougars, number 30. It looks like everything is settled now. Johnson headed to the bench. So Maki Moore back out on the floor now in his spot. Johnson, the second shot is blocked. Good defense by the Cougars. Trey Ward with it on the far side. He'll drive. Little floater once again. That's off the mark. Kevin Bishop runs down the loose ball, though. Good work by the big man, Bishop. Here's Moore taking it to the hoop, and he got the tip.
Offensive basket interference.
And they're going to give Bishop an interference call because he tipped that in. That ball was likely going as well off of Moore's hand. So tough break for the Cougars as they lose 2 points. Goshen with an opportunity to respond as this is now just a 4-point game. Johnson the second, good pass down low to Caden Johnson, and he adds 2. This Goshen squad, you would not know just looking at the paper today, seeing them come in at 2-11, that they can do what they can do. Playing an excellent game today as Ward will let that. He will let that go. We'll reset the clock here for you. 11:15 now, officially. Moore will inbound, and we have a sub as well. This will be number 23, Kedrick Bibby, checking in for number 21, Caden Johnson. No other changes as Maki Moore gets set to inbound from right in front of our PA announcer. And here's Trey Ward with it. Gives way to Jaden King. King nearly losing it on the way through, and it'll stay SXU ball. Goshen has done a nice job today silencing Jaden King, just 8 points, and now a timeout call will be taken here by the Cougars. And they'll take a full timeout, so we will step aside for the moment. Cougars with the 2-point lead here on New Year's Eve. Don't go anywhere. 11:03 left in this one right here on the Cougars Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Timeout taken by the Cougars, who still hold a 2-point advantage. The Cougars 3 upcoming home games after this one here in the new year. They'll start that out on January 4th against Indiana Northwest right here at Bob Hallberg Court in the Shannon Center. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off. That'll be a men's-women's doubleheader with Indiana Northwest. Women will play at 5. We certainly hope you'll join us for both of those games. Holy Cross at 3 o'clock on January 7th, Saturday. Also another men's-women's doubleheader. That'll be a 1 and 3 o'clock start. And then 7 o'clock here against Indiana South Bend on January 11th. And as noted, another men's-women's doubleheader at 5 and 7 respectively for the women and men. Ward inbounds to King. Coming out of the timeout, King puts up a shot. It got there, and he puts it back for 2. That'll give King double figures on the afternoon. 4 Cougars now in double figures. Good distributed offense so far. King got a hand on that one. Good defense as Bishop picks up the rebound. The Cougars will look to add and respond. Trey Ward with it, got a little bit of help from King flying by. Deep 3 for Barr, off the mark. And the Maple Leafs able to run it down. That was Simfukwe able to run it down. Here's Greg Johnson the second, pulling up in the mid-range, and he'll drain the 2. A couple of starters will return to the floor, and now Bishop will be called for an offensive foul. And a couple of subs coming here as well. Halverson and Johnson will return to the floor. Julian Barr, Kevin Bishop, the 2 to head to the bench. 2-point game. Simfukwe will take the inbound from the freshly checked in Jordan Kynard, and he gets it right back here. Over to Miller here on the near side to Greg Johnson the second in the high post. Johnson the second getting it back now outside the arc. Working against Halverson, throws up a light floater, and we're tied at 66. Under 10 to play now. And this one likely will come down to the wire. It's starting to have that feel. Here's King on the drive, off the glass, trying to get his own tip back, and he does, and puts it back off the glass for 2. Jaden King working hard. And King now called for a foul after the bucket. Robert Ford looking for explanation here from the official. It appears that King has been pretty frustrated. It looks like they gave him a tack as well. So Johnson hitting a couple free throws over here. And he does just that, so we're tied at 68. Been a lot of contact for both sides underneath the bucket. These guys have let them play. But unfortunately, when players get frustrated, you know, it's very easy to lose your head. Looks like everybody's in step with what's been going on. King having a word with the official as well. And we're back underway. That pass nearly avoids Simfukwe, but it makes its way back to Greg Johnson, the second, down in the post. Here's Kynard looking for reinforcements. Comes via Johnson, the second. Now back to Kynard. He pulls up for three. That's off the mark. Cedric Johnson with it, and the Cougars working quickly in transition. Halverson for two. Great response by the Cougars, turning defense into offense, and they did just that in transition. 2-point lead restored now for the Cougars. There's Simfukwe. Turnaround, little pass down low to Bibby, and nowhere near there. And now King, and how often do you see that happen? Looks like a foul will be called, but the ball got stuck. And it will be Cougar possession. Jump ball is the call, as the ball got wedged between the backboard and the rim. Kedrick Bibby is called for a foul. That's his fourth. So he and Caden Johnson both in foul trouble for Goshen. Certainly going to be something to keep an eye on down the stretch. Also, Caleb Wright with 3 fouls so far today. So a couple of pretty critical players on this Goshen roster finding themselves in foul trouble. And again, that size has proved to create some fits for the Maple Leafs so far today. King converts on free throw number 1. Elias Ramirez back on the floor. Team's leading scorer with 16 today. 1 point shy of the game high. Halverson has that right now with 17 as King hits free throw number 2. 8:37 and counting to go here in this second half. Tight game. Largest lead of the day was 9 points in the first half for the Cougars. Other than that, it's been within a couple possessions. Jaden King with a monster block. Oh my goodness, now the Cougars go to work. King gets it back. Floater for King, can't get it to go. Maple Leafs coming back the other way. Here's Miller, open for 3. Off the mark, Halverson collects on the rebound. Pace picking up between both teams. And even a little bit of frustrations maybe as well. King with it now on the far side on the wing. Gives it down low to Halverson. He'll work it over to Johnson for the easy 2. Good vision by Halverson to find Johnson. And with 7:48 to play, another timeout will be called. It is the Cougars taking a timeout, so that'll give them 3 remaining. We'll take a look at the leading scorers today so far. Jack Halverson with 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He is the game-high scorer so far in his return. 5 of 8 from the field, 6 of 7 from the line. Jaden King has picked it up, 14 points now for him with 6 rebounds. Cedric Johnson, 13 points, 6 rebounds. And Maki Moore with 10 points and 3 rebounds off the bench for the Cougars. As for Goshen, Elias Ramirez, as we mentioned, he is hot. 5 of 8 from beyond the arc. Only 5 of 9 from the field, so just 1 shot taken within the 3-point line. He's got 16. Greg Johnson, the second, with 14 points off the bench. And Caleb Wright with 12 points in the starting lineup. He leads Goshen with 4 assists on the day. Isaac Miller sniffing double figures as well with 9 points. Joe Kynard and Judah Simfukwe with 6 points apiece. For the Cougars, it's Kevin Bishop also sniffing double figures. He's got 8 so far. Worth noting, though, Kevin Bishop having some struggles today. He also has 8 rebounds. That is a game high for either team. 7:48 to play, as we noted here in this second half. Cougars currently with the 6-point advantage. Robert Ford took the timeout, likely wanting to keep his guys fresh and as well as just instill what is going to be needed down the stretch here to keep this Goshen team at bay. Simfukwe with it. A little bit of a moving screen from Miller. Frees him up for more. Here's Ramirez with it for the moment. Oh, and a good steal, and then a foul will be called. Ramirez will get tacked with the foul.
Clear foul, number 22. Elias Ramirez, his second personal. Maple Leafs over the limit. Cedric Johnson is at the line.
Johnson at the line now to shoot free throws. He'll miss on the first one. And he will convert on the second one. Will also remain Cougar possession, so it looked like they might have given him a technical. Not sure as to why. Perhaps just the intensity that this game has ramped up to. That's a big bucket, and the Cougars would like to add more here. Here's Johnson on the drive. Good pass on the bounce. Halverson with the slam. Jack Halverson, welcome back. 19 points in his return. Here's Miller working against Moore. That draws the foul. Robert Ford is livid.
Foul number 23, Rocky Moore. His third personal. Cougars over the limit.
So Cougars are over the limit, so everything from here on out will result in at least one free throw. Both teams working into that first phase of the bonus now. And Miller converts on free throw number 1. 77-69 now your score here. This one a high-scoring affair. Still a lot of time here to add points for both sides as Miller misses on the second one. There's Johnson now getting a screen from Halverson. He'll give way to King. King for the 3-ball off the mark. Caden Johnson hauls in the rebound now for the Maple Leafs. Now Ramirez pulls up from downtown. That won't go. Caden Johnson picks it back up. Can't get that to go either as Halverson collects the rebound. Now things will slow down. It's Trey Ward bringing it up for the Cougars. And they'll get the offense going. They'll set it up. King gets the handoff, looking for reinforcements. They're trying to free up Halverson, and they do. Jay from the free throw line is no good. Here come the Maple Leafs now with 6:18 and counting to go. Miller over to Wright. Wright dribbling in, looking to free himself up, unable to do so. Gives way to Simfukwe. On the far side, it's a big man battle now. Johnson against Halverson. And that ball is stripped out. Good play by Miller, though, to run down and secure that. Here's Ramirez. Good pass. Johnson up for 2. Good ball movement. Good hustle as well. Isaac Miller saved what could have been a disastrous turnover, really, as Johnson had it poked out from behind. Ran it down on the baseline to keep possession with Goshen. Here's King. Good pass to Halverson for another 2. And that puts Halverson over 20 points. Talk about a hell of a return. Halverson 21, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And we still have over 5 minutes to play, ladies and gents. Here's Wright for 3. Off the mark as Johnson had it, and the foul will be called, so Miller gets tacked with that. Halverson will take a seat on the bench to take a breather. Kevin Bishop returns. Here's Ward as the Cougars work quickly. Trey Ward, turnaround Jay, that draws the foul. That'll send Ward to the line now. We'll fix the clock here. 5:07 to play. Ward will shoot 2 free throws now. Ward so far today, 5 points, 2 of 3 from the field. That was his first free throw attempt, able to convert there. That gets the Cougars to 80 points. 5:07 still to play. This tying now the Cougars' largest lead of the day. They had 9 at one point in the first half. And Ward sinks free throw number 2. Now the largest lead for either side. The first time we've seen a double-figure lead at any point today. But we've seen this Goshen team chip away at leads just like this one. They'll have to continue to do so. Wright nearly has that stolen. Good defense from Trey Ward. Here's Wright on the drive. Kicks it over to Miller on the bounce pass. Ramirez, 3-ball. If it goes, that's just short off the mark. Good offensive rebound by Johnson. Johnson denied. Good defense from Kevin Bishop. Here come the Cougars. Trey Ward pushing the pace. To the rim himself. And Bishop tried to recall it. Here comes Ramirez now. Tried to get the fake to work, and it does as it draws the foul on Jaden King. And that'll send Ramirez to the line as he looks to add to his team-high 16. Tino Shabai set to check in here for the Cougars in a moment. 4:27 to play now in this second half. Ramirez bangs the first free throw. And Tino Shabai back in the game as Trey Ward takes a seat. So now Cedric Johnson will move to serve as the primary ball handler as Ramirez hits his second free throw. A 100% trip for him to the line, now giving him 18 on the day. 4:20 and counting to go here in half number 2. Bishop with it now, just beyond the arc. Moore draws the foul. Good pass by Kevin Bishop down to the baseline. And that will foul out Caleb Wright for the day. With 4:14 to play, Greg Johnson II will check in his place. So Wright's day concludes with 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. 4-7 from the field, all from beyond the arc. As Moore sinks free throw number 1. So a strong day for Caleb Wright, but fouling out, as we noted, quite a few Maple Leafs in foul trouble. Two guys to keep an eye on. Kedrick Bibby, who currently is not on the floor as Moore hits free throw number 2. But one that is Caden Johnson. He's got 4. Here's some Fuquay now. He'll get things started offensively as Johnson joins them outside. He'll get it right back over to Ramirez. He'll pull up for the 2, and that's good. Beautiful shot by Elias Ramirez. And we are under 4 minutes to play. Johnson now to King. King has it at the point. He'll drive, nothing home, puts up the floater. Can't get the friendly roll. Miller able to corral the rebound. Fuquay now with it here on this near wing. Gives way to Miller at the point. Miller on the drive, working against Bishop, nothing home. And now it's a big man battle between Johnson and Shabai. Miller gets it right back. They're trying to go back to Johnson in the post. And a foul is called. It looks like Shabai will pick up the foul. That will be just his first. So that'll send Caden Johnson to the line with 3:19 left in the half. And Johnson unable to do much with it as he bricks the free throw. Waning toward 3 minutes to play. It looks like we'll see Jack Halverson check back in at the next whistle as well. Good pass down low. Here's Bishop. Up and off the glass. It won't go. Johnson secures another rebound. Simfukwe working against King. Trying to free himself up. Unable to do so. Gives by to Miller. Johnson serving as the pivot man. Good pass down low to Greg Johnson, the second for another two. And now a clock stoppage as the Maple Leafs will take a timeout with 2:44 officially to play. The Maple Leafs still with 4 timeouts remaining. 83-77. We'll step aside for just a quick breather. We'll be back with you here in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. This one has been a good one. 83-77, your current score. This was just a 1-point game at the half. The largest lead we've seen today for either side has been 10 points. That did not occur until only about 4 minutes ago on the clock. This has been a tight contest all day long. Jack Halverson, Elias Ramirez, both over 20 points. Ramirez with 20. Halverson with a game-high 21. Talk about a return for the big man, and he'll be checking back in coming out of the timeout as well. It looks like he and Tino Shabai will exchange places. Cougars have the possession. They will inbound here after that latest bucket. Trey Ward also back in the action. He's joined by Maki Moore, Cedric Johnson, Jaden King, and Jack Halverson for the Cougars. Ramirez, Johnson the second, Caden Johnson, Simfukwe, and Miller on the floor for the Maple Leafs. Here's King to the rack. He wanted the jam, but draws the foul. So that'll send Jaden King to the line, and Caden Johnson's day is done. That's his 5th.
Number 21, Caden Johnson, his 4th personal. Maple Leafs are over the limit. Jaden King is at the line.
And they set his 4th personal down on the table. We have 5 up here, so it looks like he is still okay for the time being. A little difference between the table and our live stats. So Caden Johnson still in this game as King gives the Cougars 2 more on the free throws, and we're waning toward 2:20 left to play here. Here's Simfukwe. Caden Johnson with it now up high. Gives it to Ramirez, back to Simfukwe. Good defense here from the Cougars, sticking tightly to their guys. Simfukwe wanted to pull up. That ball poked away. Still possession, Goshen. Here's Johnson the second. Good pass down low to Miller, and now that'll be SXU possession. Good defense from the Cougars, forcing the mishap. And 1:59 now remaining in this one. Cougars really just trying to run out this clock as much as possible. Here's Johnson, the floater, gets it to roll for 2. 10-point lead restored for the Cougars, matching their game high today. We're going to try and extend that here as they continue to play good defense down the stretch. Ramirez kicks out to Simfukwe, but it was tipped off of Johnson and out of play, so it will remain Goshen possession. Number 15, Clayton McLagan, checking back in. Caden Johnson takes a seat for Goshen with just 1:30 to play. Ramirez pulling up for 3, and he's got it. And there's the timeout taken. With 1:25 left to play, Goshen will burn another timeout. And you guys know the drill. We'll step aside for a breather. We'll be back here in just a hot second on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Goshen timeout, just a 7-point game with 1:25 left to play in this last SXU athletic event of 2022. And thank you for joining us here. Ron Luce on the call with you on New Year's Eve. We hope everybody enjoys the celebrations today. Everybody is safe and healthy as we ring in the new year 2023. And the Cougars will ring in the new year here on January 4th. It's Wednesday this upcoming week. It'll be a men's-women's doubleheader, 5 and 7 o'clock. Men will start at 7. We'll hope you join us for that. It'll be against Indiana Northwest in a CCAC matchup. Johnson looking just to melt some time off the clock here. $1:10 and counting to go. Good work defensively from Johnson the second, and that'll draw the foul as Johnson the second will get the blocking foul. 1:04 to play, and that sends number 30, Cedric Johnson, to the line. Quite a few Johnsons in today's game. Greg Johnson the second, Caden Johnson, and Cedric Johnson. None of any relation, of course. Cedric Johnson hits free throw number 1, 88-80 your score. Clayton McLagan checks back in here for Goshen as Caden Johnson heads to the bench. It looks like we'll see Julian Barr check back in here in just a second as Cedric Johnson nails the free throw. 9-point lead. Trey Ward will take a seat. And now the Cougars with 4 of their 5 starters out there. Maki Moore, the lone reserve. Barr, a good defensive player, likely why he's out there, but a good play from Johnson the second to get 2 points. Johnson needing to get it across half court, and Will able to maintain possession as well. Nearly lost it on the way through. Miller guarding him tightly. 40 seconds and counting to go. And now a foul will be called. It'll stop the clock officially with 37 seconds. 37.1 as it reads here in the Shannon Center. Johnson once again at the free throw line, looking to add to his 18 on the day. 8 rebounds, 5 assists as well. And he'll nail the free throw. Cougars get to 90. It looks like we'll see Trey Ward check back here in just a minute as Johnson banks that. Barr will head to the bench. No other changes for either side. 37.1 to go. Goshen needs a quick bucket here. Plenty of timeouts, and they'll take one there. It'll be 32.5 officially as Goshen melts another timeout off the board. Cougars with a pair of 20-point scorers today. Cedric Johnson with 28 rebounds, 5 assists. Jack Halverson in his return and first game of the season after an injury that kept him out since camp. 21.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 11 from the field, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, and 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Welcome back, Jack. Good to see him back and healthy for the Cougars. Elias Ramirez has the game-high 23 points. He is 6 of 11 from beyond the arc, 7 of 13 in total from the field. He's also added 3 points from the free throw line. Greg Johnson the second with 18 off the bench for the visitors. Caleb Wright fouled out but finished the day with 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And Isaac Miller finds himself in double figures with 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Cougars also have excellent days from Jaden King, 16 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, and Maki Moore with 12 off the bench, along with 3 rebounds and an assist. Kevin Bishop still sniffing double figures, 8 points, 9 rebounds for him. His 9 rebounds, second best in the game. Caden Johnson owns that. He has 10 with 7 points for the Maple Leafs. Timeout concludes. Maple Leafs will inbound from just in front of their bench down to our left. First-year head coach Kyle Capps. Alumni, 2014 graduate of Goshen University. Always a good thing. You see a lot of good alumni coaches as that three-pointer was off the mark. Excellent rebound by Jack Halverson. That'll give him 7 now on the day. Cedric Johnson will just wind this clock down, and that should do it. 91-82 your score. The Cougars end 2022 on a high note, and they will improve to 13-3 on the season. Goshen falls to 2-12, but not because of a lack of effort. A good game played today by the Maple Leafs. Cougars now 13-3, still 7-1 in conference play, tied for the top spot in the CCAC. We wish you a happy new year, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, be healthy. The Cougars finish 2022 on a high note, and we certainly hope you do as well. We'll be back here on January 4th on Wednesday, a men's-women's doubleheader, 5 and 7 o'clock. The women will play first at 5 against Indiana Northwest. That'll be a CCAC matchup for both teams, and we hope you'll join us for that first game of 2023. We thank you so much for everything, joining us all season long so far in 2022. We hope you certainly continue to do so here in 2023. From all of us here at SXU Athletics, Happy New Year. I am Ron Luce, and until 2023, we'll see you soon. Happy New Year, stay safe, and we'll see you in the new year. Have a good one, everyone. Have a great holiday with those you love.